So I was at the hospital last month visiting my grandpa, and he was eating his tray of food. We got on the topic, and I told him that I went vegetarian for over a year. And I've never seen his expression so shocked in my life. He was just like, "You did what? Why the hell would you do that?" And he has dementia, so he's forgotten a lot of my health problems. But anyway, I thought today would be a fun day to kind of talk about that experience, because so many people in this culture and in this area, I don't think could fathom quitting meat after growing up eating it since you were born, basically. So I'll talk a little bit about why I went vegetarian for a year, why I'm not any longer, but some of the things I've learned through that experience that I think have helped and contributed to better health. So back in 2020, about 3 years ago now, I ended up getting really sick. I developed a lot of severe stomach issues and bowel issues in general, bloody stools. It was disgusting. So I waited about 6 months since that started, trying to mend myself. So I did try out a few different fad diets. I quit coffee because I thought maybe my diet was a bit too acidic, which was contributing to ulcers and things I was thinking of at the time. I cut out cheese. I already cut out pops and sugary things mostly at that point already. I was still eating a lot of carbs, a lot of noodles, and gluten I was still eating at that time. But when I finally got into the doctor and had my first colonoscopy, and he was going through all my issues, he was like, "Well, if you could, just cut out meat completely." He was telling me that protein for some people with stomach issues is harder to break down in the stomach and such. So I quit a lot of things at that point already, but then at that point I just went full vegetarian. So I was in such severe pain. I was willing to try anything at that point. He did recommend I try like the low FODMAP diet, which I did also try out for a while, and that one was just too bland, and I was still getting gassy and things on some stuff. But anyway, I thought maybe it would be helpful if I started to share like the meals that were easiest for me to transition to, because when you first have to do it, if it's for health reasons, it's hard. It's hard to feel fulfilled after eating and satisfied on some meals, because you can't just eat salad, and iceberg lettuce is basically water, so I mean you need more nutrition. So anyway, starting out, what I eat, the best meal I made, which was kind of too much work, I don't make it often anymore just because it's a lot to prepare, or at least it was for me, but it tasted great. And if you're in the mood for a burger, because that's one of the items I missed eating when I was cutting all that out, was like, I just want a juicy burger sometimes. But I ended up making these black bean sweet potato burgers out of black beans, sweet potatoes, pecans, and a lot of times I'd even put on top like guacamole. I usually wouldn't eat it with bread. There was a period I was testing, or I wasn't sure if I was gluten intolerant or anything yet, so some of the pictures might have bread on it, some might not. Red onion I love in combination with that burger, just that little tiny spice and kick with the black bean and all that was very delicious. So I do recommend that meal if you're craving something still a little like satisfying, like something that'll fill you up for sure. My other go-to meals at Walmart, I can get these freezer mixed vegetables, like a stir fry, and it comes with water chestnuts, carrots, broccoli, snap peas, probably a few other things. And then what I end up pairing with that is quinoa, another grain type fiber supplement. It's a food, but it adds to the fiber, which is exactly what I was needing with my diet. and it also has good protein. It's just a good alternative for people that don't want rice. I can still eat rice, so rice would be fine to pair with stir-fry things. And then also what I would do occasionally is I'd fry a couple eggs with it. So I'd have the stir-fry veggies, quinoa, and a couple eggs. And, you know, usually I'd have leftovers too, so I'd have enough for another 2 or 3 meals at a time. So that's another quick, easy meal that does fill me up, gets me lots of fiber, and it gives me a bit of a diverse vegetable arrangement to eat. So that's another I go to that one all the time. I make that pretty regularly. Another meal I make frequently that's super easy, and it's when I know I need to just get more fiber into me, is I just opt for a can of spinach and a can of black beans. And occasionally I'll do garbanzo beans instead. It's one of the cheapest and quickest vegetarian meals that I still eat today. I still have days where I only eat fiber, only eat vegetables, maybe some fruit here and there, but I'm less extreme with it now because I was losing so much weight and I wasn't eating enough all the time either. I still have trouble eating a lot, so it's like I kind of have to wait for an evacuation before I feed myself more. But when I get in those moments, I always opt for the more vegetarian fiber meals, or maybe more of a liquid type diet, which maybe I'll talk about those too in the future, what I do on those days. So those are 3 pretty easy meals. The first one was the hardest to make, but the last 2 were easy as heck. Now I've introduced chicken again. I don't often do fried things. Occasionally I'll admit I will, but I most of the time try to stay away from fried things. I'll eat chicken, shrimp, salmon, some other fish I might try here and there. But those are like my main sources of protein, I would say. Now for snacks, I'll eat avocado dip and corn tortilla chips. I still stay relatively gluten-free. I know the test I took last year didn't indicate that I was allergic to it. However, there's so many people with my Hashimoto's disease that indicate improvements when they stopped. So I'm willing to try anything that'll give me that little bit of edge to feel better, because this thing, it comes out of nowhere sometimes and it attacks hard. But diet's super important, at least that's something within our control we can do to make ourselves feel a little bit better. But yeah, I was just reflecting today on everyone in my family, how impossible I think it would be for a lot of them unless they had to, like with health problems, because everything my family does is centered around food. They make plans all the time about what they're going to eat and where they're going to eat at, and it's been real difficult, I feel like, to pair up with me at times, just because I don't like being around food that I can't eat. And I'm much more of my interests have changed now that my diet's changed in a way, because I know eating's just the way of life. Everyone has to eat every day, so I know it's an enjoyable communal thing for most people. I don't enjoy it as much as often as I used to. I prefer to eat by myself, or because I eat so little, and so different now. I used to just try everything, I loved sampling all the different foods, but now I'm so picky and I'm like, what does it have in it? And I don't want to be one of those guys, so it's like I don't enjoy eating out, because I know most people will not understand what I'm going through as far as dietary restrictions for health reasons. Now, there's the whole other side of vegetarianism for animal rights and stuff, which over the years I have thought about that as well. I don't like the way we farm our livestock. I grew up around all that stuff, and I was witness to so much torture and how would I say it? Just not good farming practices. It was glorified torture, and it didn't stop me from eating it. Sadly enough, you know, it's just part of this. It's just so ingrained here in the Midwest. No one's gonna give up their meat, their cows. I grew up on a hog farm, but I'm pretty much burnt out on all things pork. It's just not a, you know, if we cared more about the animals' lives, gave them better living environments and such, gave them better food, not this sprayed on crap of GMO, fertilizer, pesticide stuff that then we end up consuming. So no wonder I got health issues. Been eating that shit my whole life. Anyway, that's a little, I just wanted a little rant on diet and why I quit meat for over a year. To sum up, what did it do for me? Well, it taught me that, yeah, it's good to get more fiber in you. It taught me how to love spices. There's so many flavors I discovered once I had to start eating this way. I love turmeric, ginger, garlic salt makes every vegetable, like a little bit of garlic salt and butter, if you can tolerate a little dairy, which that's the only kind of dairy I really consume anymore. It's just a little bit of butter, some garlic salt, put that on all my vegetables. It adds the flavor tremendously. So it taught me how to appreciate good spices and different flavors. What else did it teach me? Too much fiber is bad. They also put me on Metamucil for a while, and yeah, too much fiber will cause bloating and cause gas and distension. And it was wrecking me for a while. So it's like too much of one thing is a bad thing. So moderation, and you know, don't be afraid to get more protein if you're losing weight. The shakes help too, like Ensure. Those protein shakes. So if you're having trouble going to the bathroom and you need more liquidy, digestible stuff in you, that's a good route. I'll be doing more videos too, some different foods I'm experimenting with, health supplements I've been taking. Have other videos I've made too that kind of touch on a few of the supplements that have helped. I'll link those if maybe a couple of you are having stomach issues. But I'm gonna wrap it up. This is a long enough video at this point, and you all take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.